Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Rahul Gandhi has sounded the poll bugle in Kerala, where he attended the Mahapanchayat event in Kochi to felicitate newly elected leaders who won the recent civic polls. Now, there's a lot of optimism about Congress winning Kerala this time because there's a huge anti incumbency against the Pinarayi Vijayan government. And Pinarayi Vijayan, in fact, was very confident that he might win the polls for the third time. But given how the recent civic poll results have been, it seems that hope is waning and Congress seems to be really optimistic. But the big question is that can the grand old party convert this optimism into victory in Kerala? What are the challenges for Congress? What are the challenges for the left front government? How BJP is the third player in the state? We'll try and discuss all of this. Joining me this evening is MG Radhakrishnan, who's a senior journalist and political commentator. Thank you so much, Mr. Radhakrishnan, for joining. We have Anand Kochukudi, who's a senior journalist. Thank you so much, Anand, for joining. And I'll begin with Anand just to get a sense of what has happened in Kochi. Congress has been projecting the fact that today Rahul Gandhi has sounded the poll bugle in Kerala. What all has happened since the time Rahul Gandhi landed? Because what we were told is that he will felicitate the leaders, the Congress leaders who won the recent civic polls. What else has happened there today?
Uh, Hi, Nilu. So Rahul Gandhi arrived a bit later than scheduled, and because of that, he was late to arrive at the program. And even as we are speaking, he is still at that program, and he's speaking there. I was listening to him. He was speaking about self-censorship of writers. He was speaking about many things which he generally does, which he has been speaking about for a long time. But he also, ripped apart the left government of Kerala for the many inadequacies that he has perceived. Because of which he says the left lost the election, the local body election. The UDF came back by a thumping. It was a fairly unexpected result from the point of view of all the commentators and even the mainstream media did not expect the Congress to mount such a huge comeback because the local body polls are always, a bit hard for the Congress to surmount compared to the left because of the organizational weaknesses. But this time they managed to come back, and credit to the Congress. They have not just invited the winners of the election; they have also, asked the losers. I mean, there are some 15,000 people there. I mean, there's a huge traffic jam, but that apart, there are. The all the losing candidates in the local body polls, they have also been invited to the program, which I think is a very generous thing to do and nice thing to do to boost their morale, because the election is only a semi-final. The local body polls was just a semi-final. The
Right.
bigger the election, the assembly election, is going to be where this is going to be tested.
Right. But how is Congress really positioning itself, given the fact that you were mentioning about the left, but CPIM also today has said that they are ready to enter into an alliance with Congress in states like West Bengal, in states like Puducherry, and also Assam. So, given those equations and dynamics, how do you think that Congress will really position itself opposite the left government in Kerala? Or do you see any challenges coming that way?
I don't see any, such issue. It could be a tricky for the Congress and the left in West Bengal, but that apart, in Kerala, of course, the BJP will rake that up. But in Kerala, it's always been CPM versus anti-CPM, and from the time of the independence, it has always been the Congress on one side and the CPM from 1957 on the other side. So I don't think there's going to be any issue, and there's been a lot of ratcheting up of rhetoric from ministers, from community leaders like Vellapalli Nadesan, who seemingly being used by the left government to create some communal issues, and it's been the charge is that the left is using soft Hindutva this time to win the election. Yesterday, the CPM General Secretary M.A. Baby came out all guns blazing, saying that that's a wrong thing to say. But the kind of statements that leaders like, the community leaders, SNDP leader Vellapalli Nateshan and NSS leader Sukumaran Nair, they have come back and they have, they have not been very visible in the last few years, but they came back. They held press conferences yesterday, and they were lashing out at V.D. Satishan, the leader of opposition. So, there's no, what's happening outside Kerala has no relevance for the state politics.
All right. So, first, I'll talk about the challenges before Congress. Now, there's a lot of factionalism. There are reports of factionalism. Now, the very fact that K.C. Venugopal has clarified to the Kerala channels, the regional channels, that he is not in the chief minister's race. Do you think that Congress can really overcome its factionalism problems? Are they still rampant? What are the kind of challenges you see in that direction, Mr. Radhakrishnan?
Well, Congress has this long tradition of having um, extremely bitter factionalism within the party. So this time is also no exception. And especially, even though the traditional, power blocks, the factions are no more present or no more as striving as it was in the past, there seems to be a kind of a sort of tacit struggle for the chief ministership between two or three people. And as you know, the front runners are Mr. V.D. Satishan, the opposition leader, the former, Congress president and Home Minister, Mr. Ramesh Chennithara, and finally, of course, Venugopal. Venugopal, though, as you said, has clarified that he is no more in the race. You never know with politics, so what is going to happen, and when there could be some kind of a, if the competition between Satishan and Ramesh is likely to escalate. I may think, a kind of a formula might emerge from the high command to keep both of them apart, outside, and bring in Venugopal as a kind of a compromise candidate or something. That is also possible. So you never know what's going to happen. Whatever that the leaders say in public need not be what actually they're planning within themselves.
Congress does have a pattern of squandering away its gains very quickly. Now, like what we saw in Bihar. Bihar, there was a lot of scope for the India alliance, but then again, somehow Congress weakened, it slackened towards the last leg when the campaign should have actually picked up. What are the chances, Mr. Radhakrishnan, and then I'll go to Anand, that what are the chances that Congress might just squander away those gains? There's a lot of optimism, undoubtedly. They have a lot of chance. There's heavy anti-incumbency, a lot of factors which favor Congress. But how are the odds stacked up? And if I may ask you again, that is there a possibility that Congress can really squander away this optimism also?
Well, Congress right now, as Anand and you said, Congress seems to be on a winning track right now. But there are certain, certain sort of what you call sort of sticky points here. One of them is, as Anand said, an completely unprecedented show of some kind of support by the two community leaders who towards the LDF, not that they are openly in favor, they're not openly favoring the LDF, but at the same time, they are talking very, very strongly and very furiously about V.D. Satishan being sort of, put up as the next chief ministerial candidate. And especially SNDP, as Anand said, SNDP, which is the organization of the OBC caste, the Idavas, who is the largest Hindu caste in Kerala, which is the community has always been the backbone of the left for a long time. But SNDP which is the organization of the leaders of that community, to which, of which Vellapalli Nadeshan is general secretary. He has been sort of supporting Pinarayi Vijayan personally and the left in general for some time, even though his son is the leader of the NDA constituent, which is BDJS. Vellapalli Narration has been sort of supporting Pinarayi Vijayan for some time, but this support, this kind of the positive kind of reaction from the nationals, the Nair Service Society, the NSS, which is actually the organization of the upper caste, Nayars, which is not a routine thing, because an NSS has largely been pro-Congress for a long time, though the NSS leader used to have some kind of differences with some individual leaders. Generally, the community and the leadership has been, though he always used to say about keeping an equidistance between all, to the left as well as the right. Generally, he has been in favor of certain leaders or certain individuals within the Congress. So it is unusual that yesterday the SNDP, the NSS leader, and they also have some huge differences between the SNDP and NSS for a long time. But right now, they seems to be on the same track in this particular point of not, supporting VD Sadeshan as the possible candidate. As this could be a sticky thing for the Congress and the UDF, because in Congress, except for VD Sadeshan, no other leader usually comes out strongly against these caste and community leaders. So even after Sadeshan was, sort of lambasted by both Vellapalli Nadeshan and Sumaran Nair yesterday, it is very conspicuous that not a single Congress leader has come in support of their opposition, of their leader, VD Sadeshan. So this is actually kind of a difficult situation from which they have to. So that also is a reflection of the fact, these two community leaders, Hindu community leaders, coming out against Congress, as it were. It is also an indication that in a Congress's alliance with the pro-Jamaat Islami organization, there is a party called Welfare Party, which is actually a Jamaat Islami party. They have an open alliance, the Congress has. So that has actually created some kind of hostility within the Hindu community. So I think these two community leaders, coming out against the Congress is a manifestation or the kind of, the kind of disaffection that this Jamaat Islami relationship has got within the Hindu communities. These are things which the UDF will have to tackle, and they are not very easy to handle either.
Right. But in terms of party equations, the intra-party, the inter-party within, if you look at the internal contradictions within the party, Anand, how real is the optimism of Congress on the ground in Kerala?
See, I have been told by senior Congress leaders that there's some understanding between VD Satishan and Ramesh Nitila to share terms, it was rumored in Karnataka. What happened in Karnataka and how it ends, we don't know how it's going to end between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. But Ramesh Nitila is a very senior leader compared to both VD Satishan and even KC Venugopal, regardless of KC Venugopal's position as the National General Secretary organization today. So the rumor, sorry, it's not a rumor, I've been told by Congress leaders, both from Ramesh Chenitla's camp as well as VD Satishan's camp. And I do have access to both leaders individually. I do speak to them once in a while. So they haven't denied this so far, that they are open to sharing terms, and Chenitala, because of his seniority and because of his stature, and he was denied the chance in 2021 5-year terms that the UDF and the LDF have in Kerala. That trend was stopped in 2021 by Pinarayi Vijayan after the COVID election. So this time they seem to have some understanding. So what they essentially want to do is, as Mr. Radhakrishnan said, deny an opportunity for the High Command to intervene. So once there is a
Anand, if I may ask you, isn't this something which is very, very speculative? Now, the formula of a rotational CM hasn't really worked. Now, look at what happened in Rajasthan between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. Hasn't worked. Look at what's happening. The rumblings are felt still within what is happening in Kerala, Karnataka, between DKS and Siddaramaiah. So, now, do you think that this is really going to work again in Kerala? And I'm
See,
sure
in
Congress
Kerala,
also learn its lessons.
See, in Kerala, this has a history. In 2011, when Umman Chandi was nominated as the chief minister, there was some, NSS and the Nair Service Society and Sukumaran Nair, they were taken on board during that, government formation, because the LDF had 68 members in that assembly compared to the UDF 72. So it was just a matter of two members switching sides. And it's unlike other states in Kerala, in the UDF and LDF, apart from the CPM and the Congress, the other parties like the CPI, the Indian Union Muslim League, they have a fair size of MLAs. So the NSS was taken on board at that time, and according to Ramesh Chenitala, he has been speaking about this very frequently with senior journalists, that he was assured of a term even in 2011. After 2014, he was assured of a term as chief minister, but it didn't happen. There was a Solar scandal, and he was made home minister. He was KPCC president at that time, the state party president at that time. Then he was nominated as the home minister, because when it came to deputy chief ministership, there was an issue with the Indian Union Muslim League. There was KM Mani of the Kerala Congress, who also staked claim. So there is a history to that. And VD Satishan, for some reason, he has been very magnanimous. I mean, I haven't seen any other politician who openly says that I'm willing to, step away after leading the party to a win. This is unprecedented even for Kerala politics, that anybody would say something like that. Of course, there was Umman Chandi who did that for AK Antony in 1994. Mr. Radhakrishnan would be very, he would remember the circumstances when AK Antony took a flight from Delhi and came and he was one in replacing K. Karunakaran. But in today's politics, that's very unprecedented. But Satishan has been giving hints, even in interviews, even in public interviews, that he is willing to step away and let somebody else take up the position, the mantle of chief minister, if that is what is required. So he says it's his duty to take the party to a win, and he is fairly junior compared to Ramesh Chenitala. Probably that is why. And also, they want to ensure that the High Command doesn't meddle in a situation where both of them don't agree on something, and then KC Venugopal is thrust in, by Rahul Gandhi or by the High Command.
But also talking about KC Venugopal, like even Radhakrishnan mentioned that there could be a possibility that at the last moment, if there is no consensus for anything, KC Venugopal might be parachuted in as the chief minister. So that again is a very speculative question. But are these rumblings being felt by VD Satishan, by Chenithala, that what if KC even though on camera he has said, and he has made that official comment that he's not in the CM race, but could that be a possibility that the Congress High Command might parachute him?
The Congress High Command can only parachute him if there is a difference of opinion between VD Satishan and Ramesh Chenitala and their camps.
Okay.
So I don't see any possibility, unless they can't agree on a term thing, or rotation thing. And of course, KC Venugopal is a sitting MP. So if he has to become chief minister, there's no legislative council in Kerala, so he will have to if the Congress wins big, like 100 seats, then it's easy for anybody to be parachuted. But if the margin of victory is like 2011, 5 or 10 seats, then that wouldn't be, I don't think that would be the case.
Okay, so now what are the challenges also for the left? If we are talking about the how the odds are stacked up for Congress, it's also like a do or die battle for Pinarayi Vijayan. Can he really protect his turf for the third time, or Congress can really be a dominating figure in this election, Radhakrishnan?
Well, now it looks quite tough for the LDF to come back to power. Right now, as it's very visible. The anti-incumbency wave is absolutely visible now. So I don't think there is any chance for the LDF to come back, without any major surprises in the coming 2-3 months. So, which is also quite unlikely. Now the LDF, the CPIM and the LDF is caught in a very unenviable situation where it finds that it's sort of isolated in Kerala's social and political system in a way. In terms, if you take the consolidation of the communities behind both the UDF and also the BJP, the minorities seem to be sort of increasingly consolidating behind the UDF, and minorities themselves about more than 45% of Kerala's population. And there has been a huge erosion from the Hindu votes of the LDF, as it was clear in the last election as well as in the past Lok Sabha election also. So with the minorities moving towards consolidating behind UDF and majority community, large sections going away from the LDF, now the left is now caught in between without any captive vote banks of their own. So this has not happened in the past because the CPM has been generally largely a Hindu party because the minorities have always been with the LDF. But with the increasing sort of clout of the BJP, now initially that actually hit the UDF first because the Congress there was a big sort of erosion from the the Nair community votes from the Congress. Now it is the second stage where the BJP has increased its vote share from 55% to now nearing 20% last time, though it did not fare well in the last Panchayat elections. It has come to about nearly 20%. So the second stage, where the major loser seems to be the CPIM and the LDF. So unless there are some completely out of the box plans and ideas, I don't think LDF stands a chance right now.
Right. One more comment I would like to get from you, and then I'll take the concluding comments from Anand. What about the third entrant, and that is the BJP? What are the chances for the BJP this time? Because they will try and pull out all the stops to make themselves a
Yeah.
visible third player. Given the fact that they have the money, the power, the muscle, the administrative machinery, also they can manage. So, what are the chances of BJP in Kerala this time?
Well, BJP, considering the kind of performance that they had in the last Lok Sabha election, where it came to about 19 point, just about 20% of votes. If that momentum had continued in the Panchayat election also, one would have been absolutely sure that BJP or the NDA would have got about minimum 4 to 5 seats in Kerala in the coming election. But what has happened in between is the Panchayat election, which was actually a surprise result where the BJP has gone behind about 15%, which is actually quite unexpected because it is not even increase the tempo, it has sort of come down. So if that is going to be the case, if the BJP votes, because that last 19%, 20%, they had about 5% of Christian votes, which was unprecedented before. So the Christian votes seem to be have gone back to the UDF now, to the Congress now. And so if that is going to happen in assembly election also, then BJP might be back to where it started, maybe zero, or maybe at the most about 1 or 2 seats, but it is not likely to go beyond that. Even despite whatever you said, they have the money, they have the muscle, they have the central backing of the Congress, the central government, and Modi himself coming for campaign and all. But to cut through this some structural block in the demographic block in Kerala, about 45% minorities, will not be an easy task for BJP. even in times to come.
All right. So I'll take the concluding comments from Anand and coming back to the same question, that can Congress really translate its optimism into victory? What are the chances? And given the kind of efforts which Congress is making, are they really making fulsome efforts to come back to power?
I do think that they are making all the efforts, but there are many, ways in which Congress can always, they are experts at conjuring up
What makes you feel,
defeats.
what you said, you made an important point. You said that they are not making fulsome efforts. What makes you feel so?
No, I'm saying that they are making fulsome efforts. I did say that I hope I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, I can.
Yeah, making fulsome efforts, but I'm saying that there are certain things that can, trip them up even now. Like the Hindu consolidation, if word goes around that the UDF is a coalition of minorities, and if the CPM manages to get both the SNDP Yogam president Vellapalli Nadeshan and the NSS president Sukumaran Nair to come on board and raise the same thing again and again, just bombard that for the next 3 months, that can help the CPM win or retain the election. But of course, that will eventually help the BJP, because, soft Hindutva always ends up helping the BJP, whether it's deployed by the Congress in other states or the CPM this time in Kerala. But that is one way the left has a chance to come back by utilizing these community leaders. But that would be unprecedented, because it would be a travesty, for the Communist Party parties to undertake such a novel method. It's not a novel method, but to adopt such a reactionary, to be with the reactionaries and use them that way. The other ways they can trip up is by getting overconfident, by not working as they did ahead of the panchayat elections. The water rolls are very different. The local body polls have a different water roll, and the assembly election, it has another. Uh, the the waters are completely different. So I don't know how far they are working on the ground to make sure that the SIR doesn't affect their prospects in the assembly election. And of course, there is the chance of factionalism. That's, the candidate selection is very important. If they don't pick the right candidates in the right seats, and if they're seat sharing with the allies like the Indian Union Muslim League don't go as
Yeah.
as well as they are planning, then all of this can affect their result.
Right. All right. So we'll have to wait and watch. And as I said, Rahul Gandhi has sounded the poll bugle in Kerala, but much needs to be watched out for in terms of efforts as to how much effort can the grand old party make, and can they really convert this optimism into some kind of a grand, visible victory. I'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Mr. Radhakrishnan. Anand, it was wonderful having you on the program. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank